Hello there, welcome back to AP Psychology with me, Miss Baines, your teacher, where you can pause and rewind me as I deliver you our latest content. So go ahead, grab those felt tip colored markers, get yourself a nice comfy space in which to work, and of course don't forget those ever important binder notes that go in lockstep order with today's video called Unit 2, Video 3, the Endocrine System, which are on pages 10 through 15 in your binder notes. I'll see you on the other side. Please note that this big monstrosity type lecture notes was put there on purpose on page 10, because a lot of what I'm going to be saying here, well, it's a lot, right? It's just a lot of verbiage. And so I wanted you to have this complicated content to be available in written form as well. Please still use them and the video for making your own copious notes. This in no way means you shouldn't still be summarizing every part for yourself of your own notes. But you already know this, of course, so let's just jump in and check out our endocrine system. Our biggest learning target is understanding the endocrine system, of course, but also how it has an effect on your behavior. So what is the endocrine system? Well, it's the body's counterpart to the nervous system. If the nervous system is an electrochemical superfast, almost like electricity going through the body, then the endocrine system is the body's slower, more chemical-based communication system, working by releasing hormones received only at specific spots within the body into the bloodstream. Okay, so if the nervous system works through neurons, through our nerves, right, then the endocrine system works through our bloodstream with our hormones. You'll see in this image here that I give you of each of the glands that are involved in the endocrine system, and each of these glands release their own very specific certain hormone. Okay, each one of them has a certain function and a job, a hormone that is released into the body, and some of them can be released over a few hours. Some of them are released over weeks or months or even years of your life because they allow you to grow and develop and metabolize. So let's talk about those specifics. So under normal circumstances, the endocrine system works with our parasympathetic nervous system. If you forgot about that one, just turn back and look back in your notes, right? It's the one that brings us back into homeostasis, right? Rest and digest, back to homeostasis, so that the endocrine system works without the parasympathetic nervous system to keep us at homeostasis and within the normal levels of functioning. But that is also if we are in a crisis or a stressful situation, our endocrine system works to support the sympathetic nervous system. When responding to those fight or flight crises, right, to those stressful situations, we need something to get us back into homeostasis. Okay, so I feel like an example would be the best way to go about this. So let's look at an example. Let's say you're in a gas station while it's being robbed, right? That's a pretty stressful situation. A criminal pulls a gun on you, and you and the clerk and the attendant behind the desk, well, all three of your endocrine systems will release adrenaline. The technical term is epinephrine and norepinephrine into your bloodstream from the adrenal glands. And if you look back at the slide, the adrenal glands are these little guys on top of each of your kidneys. Okay, so you're in the gas station, it releases epinephrine from your adrenal glands, hence adrenaline, right? Sustaining your body's defensive reaction on fight or flight, which was started by your central nervous system, right? Your sympathetic nervous system. So the two systems really work hand in hand and go together. The endocrine system really finishes up what the nervous system started. It keeps your heart pounding, your muscles tense, you're ready for action.
Imagine you're getting ready to race. The stress you feel makes your brain signal the adrenal glands to produce epinephrine, or adrenaline. Adrenaline increases your heart rate. As a result, more oxygen gets to your muscles. That makes your body ready to react. In a longer-term response to stress, the glands secrete cortisol. Cortisol promotes the release of energy, making you ready to race.
Right? So again, the nervous system with the sympathetic nervous system, it allows you to maybe for like 10, 15, maybe minutes, maybe up to an hour, have these initial fight or flight reaction times. Whereas the endocrine system is what allows you to have it for over a longer period of time. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had some kind of argument, let's say, with somebody that you really care about and you don't like confrontation, but whether that's with a sibling or a friend or your mom or dad, hopefully not a boss, but you just anybody, right? You have some kind of really terrible drama going on and some confrontation with them. And it comes to a head like a full-on one-on-one argument, and you're heated, and you're probably saying things that you are going to regret later on, and all of those things that you're really angsty about, and you're getting all worked up, right? And of course, we all have experienced this, especially as teenagers, right? Let's just say it's hours later after you had that big, giant, explosive fight. Hopefully, by now you're forgiving each other, and you're even asking each other for apologies and telling, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. Right? You still feel like you think about it and your heart starts to pick up a little bit, right? When you start thinking about it again, you feel tense and ready to go again. That is leftover adrenaline. Your system still, right? The endocrine system lasts longer than the nervous system. All right, so let's talk about this pituitary gland here, which is in your brain, deep inside, right? It's your master gland of the endocrine system. And I gave you a kind of zoomed in picture here of where it is and what it regulates. Okay? The activity of all other glands in the endocrine system is under the control of the hypothalamus. Okay? The hypothalamus being part of the brain, which is part of the nervous system. So what it really is the link between the two systems. So the pituitary gland sends out a hormonal signal to the endocrine glands, letting them know, hey, you need to do your job now, all right? The next one here is the thyroid gland, letting them know, hey, you need to do your job now here, okay? And the next one is the thyroid gland. Okay, the thyroid is kind of around the Adam's apple here. For guys, it's right at the front of your throat, and it's super important because it regulates metabolism, physical growth, and the development of your calcium. Okay, the calcium rate, all things that contribute to your growing, metabolizing food, using energy. You've got your adrenal glands right here in your midsection, and you've got to think in here in the back of your kidneys on top, okay? There are these fleshy looking weird little things that are your adrenal glands, and they regulate your fight or flight and help also with metabolism, as well as they are the ones that are going to release your adrenaline, your epinephrine and your norepinephrine into the bloodstream, allowing you to do crazy things like skydive or fight off a robber, okay? Your pancreas here, right? Your pancreas is in there next to your gallbladder, and it's kind of really like a weird looking structure that you're looking at here. So your pancreas actually is what regulates the level of sugar or glucose in the blood flow. So for diabetic patients who are having issues with their insulin, right, that hormone that's released by your pancreas that allows you to regulate the sugar in your blood, well, that's it. And then we have down here our gonads, or a male has gonads, the very awkward part that we have to talk about here, but they are part of the endocrine system. And so if you've ever heard all your body is just rushing with hormones, I think if a woman's has gotten her cycle around puberty, all of those things, well, it's actually accurate. It makes you have but it's true. The hormones that last over weeks, months, or years of your life, especially in the peak of your reproductive phases in life, they regulate bodily development. So those secondary sexual development, meaning things that make you either a man or a woman, but are not your reproductive organs. So think like breasts, shoulders on men, right? Maintain reproductive organs as well. So the gonads produce the sperm, and for men, and the eggs are produced by the women, okay? Here's a big connection that you've got to be making between the last video instead of the notes that you took, this one, and this is a question that I have for you to reflect about on individually. Okay, jot it down in your notes and then talk about it in class the next time that you're there. How do the nervous and the endocrine systems work together in a way that is very physical, okay? In the physical sense. I've kind of already said this before, but I want you to point it out. For instance, how do the adrenal glands know when to secrete epinephrine or adrenaline? Okay, so go ahead and pause and reflect on that question a little bit and get it answered on a post-it note or something in your notes. Be ready to talk about that in class when we meet up for this video. Alright guys, that's what I've got for you on the endocrine system. I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.